Hi everybody, so today is Saturday the 11th of May and I'm competing tomorrow. So this is going to be my first, possibly my last, vlog for my Facebook channel. I have no idea what I'm doing at all. I am a bit nervous about being seen doing this tomorrow, but never mind. I'm competing at Shim at Hunters Equestrian in Gloucestershire. It's one of our favourite venues. Frank and Sue, who run it, are lovely. We're competing in prelim 15, and we're also going to have a go at a novice, which is novice 28. I'm quite familiar with the novices, even though I haven't ridden them. So we'll see how it goes. This is only our second affiliated novice. We don't have medium trot, things like that. Anyway, I'll explain everything tomorrow in between. But got prep to do today, having a palish coloured horse with white mane, tail, stockings, face. She needs a bath. I don't skimp on turnout. She has to look amazing every time she goes out. So she will be glowing, and I'll do a few clips of her getting ready. But I'll speak to you soon. Okay, so here's the before. So mane is looking a bit yellowy and gross. White stockings, stained and not white. My workout for me today, Shimtastic. Oh, look at this beauty. Isn't that tasty? I can't really tell how sticky it is. Grim. So this is the before, guys, and I'll show you the after when we're done. Okay, so Shim is all ready. You got a unicorn horn, babe. Good girl. Yeah, she's all cleaned. I haven't actually washed her mane. I'll show you the other side in a second, because it isn't that bad, and it's impossible to plait when it's really fluffy. She's got like foal mane. Legs are clean. Other white leg. That's my favourite leg right there, the one that doesn't get disgusting. Tail's clean and plaited. Grass belly in check. There she is. So these are all all plaited down. I'll roll them up in the morning. I don't ever plait this little bit here, but yeah, she is. You are funny. Husband doing the tack cleaning. Box is ready. Adam and I each have a competition box. That's his because he was show jumping last weekend, and this one's mine. Girth's been washed on the line. We are ready to roll. Aren't you, Puff? No. So guys, the time is now something past 9 o'clock. I would say I'm going to have an early night, but I go to bed at 9 o'clock like every day. I've just been learning my tests. I am 100% on 15 and 75% on the novice, but I've got a 45-minute gap between the tests, so I will make sure I'm 100% before then. So yeah, I think this is me saying everything's ready. Gonna check out, and I will be awake at, well, I get up every week in the weekdays at like 5 o'clock in the morning, so whatever we get up, it's going to be early, but not that early. Alright, bye. Just editing to add, Olivia does that really cool thing where she like says like goodbye, and then she like puts her hand against the camera, so I'm going to give it a go. So I'll see you in the morning. Oh fuck, I fucked it. I forgot to press stop. Ah! I'm going to try that again, wait. Morning. It's about 10 to 7, so we're up, we've had breakfast. I haven't had a cup of tea yet, which is probably going to end up being a bad decision, so might go and make myself a travel mug quickly before we leave. Just going to do my teeth and then pack the car, or Adam's packing the car, and then it's time to set off to the yard and see what state my little girl is in after a night of heavy sleeping, no doubt. Their kettle is ready to re-wash legs if needs be. So, alright, I'll see you soon.
Draw, so we shall see. But we'll be all over it for you in 5 minutes today. Getting under.
And Chris Page
Shimmel? Hi, Vava.
I'm hiding
She's-
with my unicorn.
She's like, I'm off for my wee. My standard morning wee. When I see my mummy, I piss myself. Yeah. Oh my god, the legs. It's alright. It's okay. Kettle time. Okay, I suck at vlogging. I have rebathed Shim. Everything is white where it's supposed to be white. She's plaited. Her plaits look pretty awful today. They're really fluffy and really hairy. So maybe I should have just bathed it. It wouldn't have looked any flipping different. Never mind. Yeah, she's in the trailer. So that's our box on the back. And we're on our way to Hunters now. So yeah, I promise I'll do better check-ins. Sorry. P.S. My husband's making me tell you the truth. The real reason, or the main reason, other than bathing, that I haven't vlogged in between my last clip and the other one, is because I'm really self-conscious about doing it. So my yard owner was there and she's lovely, but I felt really self-conscious. So I didn't vlog, but I will get better. I'm gonna have to learn to be brave. We're here. Shim Sham, show everyone your unicorn horn. You embarrassed? Hey, there's nothing wrong with unicorn. We're running a little bit early, aren't we, Shim Sham? Yeah. Don't you get hay on the floor, Frank will kill you. Yeah. Good girl. A few minutes of relaxing while we're here. first test is done. I'm not going to get off though because it's not that long until I have to do the novice. It was okay. I'll do a proper update in a bit, but yeah, it's not as exciting when you're just doing prelim and novice, I suppose, to listen to, but this is where we're at, so I will update you soon.
At C, turn right. CA, working trot. At A, serpentine 3 loops, each loop going to the side of the arena, finishing at C on the right rein. Between C and M, working canter right. At B, circle right 20 metres. B, A, E, working canter. Just before H, 15-metre half circle right, returning to the track between E and K. At K, transition to working trot. KA, working trot. At A, serpentine 3 loops, each loop to go to the side of the arena, finishing at C on the left rein. EAB, working canter. Just before M, 15-metre half circle returning to the track between B and F. At F, transition to working trot. FK, working trot. KXM, change the rein and show some medium trot strides. At M, working trot. At C, transition to medium walk. CH, medium walk. HXF, change rein and free walk on a long rein. FA, medium walk. At A, down centre line. AX, medium walk. At X, halt, immobility, salute.
Okay, so we are on our way back from Hunters. I'll go through it test by test so that we can kind of go in like a chronological order. So the prelim is prelim 15. It's a test that I like. It suits Shim quite well. I'm having a real battle with Shim at the moment with her suppleness she's not a horse that's good in the contact. So it was okay. Abby's tried to work quite hard with us on bringing her more up in the frame and having a slightly shorter contact, because the longer that you leave her, the more disengaged she gets, even though that's like her happy place. It's to be quite long and a bit on the forehand. So quite rightly, we were pulled quite heavily on suppleness and contact. There were bits of it that were quite alright. The canters across the diagonal, the transitions down were well balanced. Had a couple of 7s for those, but other than that, it was a pretty low scoring test. I don't feel too badly about it. I tried to look at it quite mechanically, in the sense that I'm working on suppleness and contact, so the actual overall score isn't really what I'm focusing in on. I just want to focus in on the marks. So for the collectives, for suppleness and contact and things like that, that's the bit that I really need to hone in on and see if there's any advice or anything that I can follow. My trot work isn't great at the moment. We're really struggling to find a balance of what is active and rhythmical. It's quite hard to explain. Shim's very lazy, so I always feel like I have to chase her forwards, and what that does is it makes me feel happier that she's going more forwards, but actually what I'm doing is I'm knocking her out of her natural rhythm, and she's no more active than she was before. So when I'm told that's a good trot, I struggle to think, well, we aren't really covering any ground and it feels backwards and things like that. So anyway, so I didn't want to look at the trot marks today. It's not a case of like burying my head in the sand. It's just that I know there's issues there, so I'm not going to beat myself up over them. I'm going to look at the marks that I've been working on. I think that's a sensible way to look at it. Except the marks of the stuff I've been working on weren't great. So there's a lot to learn in this. It is still a building block. I think that if I was to look at things in a more overall way, I'd say I'm feeling pretty disappointed that I've just pulled a 62% out at prelim bronze. But yeah, it isn't as easy, and it isn't as simple as reading it that way. So I'm happy that I tried to get where Abby likes us to be, and I'm happy that the canter transitions were good downwards, because her canter work's going quite well. And I kind of see it as a building block, that test, so it's okay. It's not great, but it's okay. Then we went into the novice, and I think all I can say really is shit. Really. I had the test called. Ad called the test for me. It didn't go very well. Shim just isn't. She isn't great in a second test, I think, is what I'm starting to learn, although I'm trying not to get that into my head and thinking that's actually like a rule, that she never does well in a second test, because that's a dangerous road to go down. But I'm just tending to find that she rides very differently in test number 2. She broke in one of the canter loops back to the track, and I desperately tried to rescue it so I didn't lose the next mark. So I picked the canter back up so I could still do the transition, but she picked up the lead I didn't want, which is amazing really, because she's normally very good at that at home. It was very unbalanced. It was not particularly rhythmical. I feel I'm on like a knife's edge at the minute. Like my brain wants to swim down a road of, I don't know if we're cut out for this. I don't know if Shim enjoys it enough to do it. I don't know if I'm the rider to bring the best out of her. But I'm very precariously trying to pull myself to the other side of the knife edge and just be like, it's only your second novice. You've had a go. It wasn't a day.
First novice.
Yeah, that's here by the way. It was better than my first novice I did at West Wilts. It just didn't ride well. I don't think I rode well, which of course doesn't help when your horse isn't really onside, and Shim wasn't onside. So we actually scored a 63 for that one. So that's just interesting, isn't it, between two different judges, that the prelim probably was the better of the two, in my opinion, but the novices scored higher, and the contact issues were worse, and we had a break in a movement. But again, I think mechanically about it. Here's a positive. I asked for some medium trot strides, and I think I got some. I haven't watched the videos yet. I don't want to watch them yet. You will have seen them by now, by the time I put this together. But as of now, I haven't watched the videos back. So that's where we are. So we're travelling home, and I know I'll feel better later on. But right now, I just feel a bit bleh about it. I had a little cry. So, oh, bollocks. Oh, sunglasses work wonders, guys. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard. Okay.
Practice shooting without sedation.
Really? You pretty pony. Self unload. Thank you, Shim. Grass belly. Mood. Hi, Poppy. Hi. Oh, it's exciting to see you.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, you miss us? Yeah. So we're back home. Shim is home safely. She's out in the field. If you're wondering what all that white is on my head, can you see that? I got pooed on twice when I got back to the yard. Adam was like, oh, it's good luck. I was like, I've just done 2 terrible dressage tests. I think it's a bit late. What's it good luck for? Parking the trailer. Anyway, so there's my cat, Saf, or one of my cats. So I've watched my prelim test. It doesn't look as bad as it felt, actually. So I don't mind. The trot work is the issue, definitely. But overall, I think that it's quite clear to see that there are definitely contact issues. I mean, make of it what you will. It's quite scary when you put yourself out there and say, oh, look, here's me riding my horse. And actually, it's not very good. But then at the same time, I find it really easy to remember. Ideal. I find it... Look, Sav! Stop it. I find it really easy to remember that actually, it doesn't matter how many negatives somebody else says about me, I know them all, and I know more. We all are individually hyperly aware of our weaknesses. So people can think and say as they do, that's perfectly their right. Don't worry, I'm aware of my flaws and I'd love to make them better. I haven't watched The Novice yet. Stupid, isn't it? I haven't watched it, but I'm feeling a bit better anyway. I do. The majority of the time, I feel very black and white that I do dressage, A, because I love it, and B, because it's really beneficial to Shim. She has got so many issues physically. It's not to belittle anybody else and say my horse is worse than yours, so I'm not going to do that well. That's not what I mean about it. What I mean is I'm normally quite content to say we aren't a 70s horse. You look at 90% of my test sheets and they range from 6s to 7s. It's rare for me to exceed a 7 in anything I do because of what we're working with and how we are. And obviously, if you're not beating or going above a 7 to a 7.5 very frequently, you're not going to be scoring 70 plus tests. The maths does not work. So I'm okay with it. Shim is not a 70s horse. And most of the time, I think this is good physio for her. It's good for us. It's enjoyable. We get to go out and do things. We get to try and do championships. But every now and again, and today this is what's happened, I just remember that I am a competitive person. And I watched Abby. Abby trains me. Abby was in the second novice class. I watched her today. She's just so good. She's so good. it looks so easy and so fluid and fluent, and when there's a mistake, they're rare anyway, but she's just so quick to correct and make sure it just looks like it should look. And she rides so quietly, and I sit there and I think, that's what I want to be like. So I'm quite glad I watched her test at the end of the day, because before we left, sorry, it's not even 1 o'clock yet, before we left, because it's kind of made me go, but that's what you're aiming for, that's what you'd like to be. But yeah, it's disheartening when you don't feel that you can be a competitive person. I find that really hard. But most of the time I'm quite accepting of it. This is the way it is. This is who we are. I love Shim. I absolutely adore every inch of her, from like her whiskers to her sternum inside. Like, she's amazing. She's an amazing horse. And I feel like the issues we have actually, okay, she has physical issues, but I feel like I cause them. And I feel like I make them worse with how I ride. And I'm not going to say I feel like I let her down, because I don't kind of believe in that sort of thing. Horses don't know what we're doing. They don't have the same aspirations as I do. But I just feel like with all the money and the training that goes in, I'm still not doing her justice. And that sucks, because she is so wonderful. I adore her. She's an opinionated little pig sometimes, don't get me wrong, but I love it. I love her. So I think I feel quite hard on my own riding today. But I will keep going. We will keep going. Yeah. Anyway, so this is going to wrap up the end of my first ever vlog. I'm going to go and have a shower, because I've got bird shit in my hair. 2 lots of it, actually. I hope that you enjoyed the vlog. It's been different making it. There's definitely a lot to learn. But if you've got this far, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Like I say, we're not out there doing small tour. We're not out there doing your Inter 1s, your Inter 2s. I'm going to leave that to Miss Towers, because she got this. But I'm just a local unaffiliated rider. It's not my job. So yeah, if you enjoyed this, really appreciate you watching it, and thank you very much. So maybe I'll see you in another one day. All right, bye.